Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel and thank you so much for stopping by. Peter Obi attacks President Bola Ahmed Tinubu over COP28 currently going on in Dubai. Alright guys, before we continue, please like and share this video so that this video will be recommended to other people. The former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, has attacked President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for sponsoring 1,411 delegates to the COP28 climate change. Obi, in series of tweets on his X handle on Sunday, said in a twist of sad irony, "Let me congratulate the giants of Africa and Nigeria for matching the great China with the same number of constituents at the ongoing COP28 in Dubai, United Arab Emirates." Nigeria's constituent to the COP28 totaled 1,411, the same number as the Chinese constituent. Obi said while China budget for 2024 is about $4 trillion, about $2,860 per head, Nigeria budget is about $33 billion, about $165 per head. He further stated that China has a high Human Development Index (HDI) with a ranking of 79 out of 191 countries measured, and that Nigeria has a low HDI with a ranking of 163 out of 191 countries measured. Nigeria has more people living in multidimensional poverty than China, despite China having 7 times our population. Most importantly, the vast majority of those in Nigeria delegation to the COP28 are either non-relevant civil servants or relations, friends and hangers on the high government officials. Most of them hardly understand or have anything to do with the climate change. This huge contingent is at a public expense at a time when most Nigerians can hardly afford food and basic needs as a result of economic hardship. I pray earnestly that a day will come soon enough when we can focus on competing with China on productivity and the miracle of migrating the highest number of its citizens out of poverty over a relatively short time. As we have kept emphasizing, we must stop waste as a tradition of our government and nation. We urgently need to cut the cost of governance and invest in production, he said. According to Peter Obi, we need to de-emphasize unnecessary ceremony and showmanship as a mode of government behavior. We need to tie spending to necessity and national priority. A new Nigeria is possible. We only need to do the reasonable and the necessary. Alright guys, so the former governor Peter Obi's recent scrutiny of Nigeria delegation to the COP28 provides a critical lens through which we can assess the nation's priorities and the imperative for prudent governance. Number 1. Disparities in budget and delegation size. Obi's observation on Nigeria matching China's 1,411 delegates at COP28 while operating on a fraction of China's budget is a stark revelation. It raises fundamental questions about the allocation of resources and the necessity of such a sizable delegation. Number 2. Per capita spending and Human Development Index (HDI). The discrepancy in per capita spending between China and Nigeria, as highlighted by Obi, point to potential inefficiencies in resource management. Additionally, the contrast in HDI rankings underscores the broader implications of how the government's decision impact the well-being and development of the population. Delegation composition and relevance. Obi criticism extends to the composition of Nigeria delegations, emphasizing the presence of non-relevant individuals and a lack of expertise in climate change matters. This prompts reflection on the alignment of delegate composition with the objective of the COP28 conference and the nation's broader goals. Economic hardships and public expense. Against the backdrop of economic challenges faced by ordinary Nigerians, Obi rightly questioned the appropriateness of such a large delegation. The strain on public resources and apparent misallocation of funds become a glaring concern in a context where basic needs are a challenge for many citizens. Urgency for prudent governance. Obi's call for prudent governance echoes a broader sentiment. It's a plea to shift focus from unnecessary expenditure to strategic investments that foster productivity and poverty reduction. The emphasis on tying spending to necessity and national priorities underscores the agency for a more responsible and effective approach to the governance. Vision for a new Nigeria. In concluding his critique, Obi envisions a Nigeria that competes with nations like China on productivity and poverty reduction. This vision hinges on a transformative shift in government behavior, emphasizing a departure from wasteful traditions and a commitment to reasonable and necessary. In essence, Peter Obi's analysis serves as a catalyst for national introspection. It prompts us to scrutinize the alignment of governmental actions with the needs and aspirations of the Nigerian people. The COP28 delegation in this contest becomes a symbol of the broader challenges and opportunities facing Nigeria in its journey toward a more prosperous and equitable future. So guys, if we are going to compare Nigeria and China, you can see that China is way ahead of Nigeria in almost all sectors. So Nigeria should mimic the productivity of China. So if you also look at China and 2024 budget is worth about 4 trillion. And Nigeria 2024 budget is what, about 33 billion. So you can't basically compare those two together. I, for one, believe that Nigeria can become a great country again. We just need to know how to manage our economic resources. So guys, that will be how we'll be taking in today's episode. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. Like and share this video so that this video will be recommended to other people.
Rufai, I believe even last year at COP27, Nigeria had a small delegation rather. I think it was about 5 of them. If we have that picture up, we had a minister of, I think it was humanitarian affairs and a bunch of others. There it is. About 5 of them. And can you imagine? The number has doubled. If we can pull up a list of the ministers that were out there, we have Federal Ministry of Environment at 53, Ministry of Foreign Affairs 21, Ministry of Environment at 16, Ministry of Petroleum Resources at 12, Ministry of Environment and Climate Change at 9, Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources at 8, Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs at 8, Federal Ministry of Transportation at 7, Federal Ministry of Finance 7, Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs 6, Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment 6, Federal Ministry of Power. The list goes on, Rufai. But what got me also was the fact that the actual list, which had, you know, maybe the actual climate activists, if we have that, was a lot smaller.
I mean, what do you expect? So this is clear and simple. It's a jamboree. And the part that I just only fault them for, I keep saying, is the fact that they didn't pick Ashwebi. Yeah, because this is a Nigerian party in Dubai.
Okay.
You know, and I'm sure probably a lot of them wanted to go again because, you know, since it's now harder to get into Dubai, and this was what the government first said initially they will have fixed with relationship and, you know, interaction with Dubai. Nigerians in Dubai that have jobs are finding it very difficult. Some are coming back home because that problem has not been fixed. So maybe Nigerians that couldn't get into Dubai and they're like, oh, free party in Dubai. Yeah, okay, let's go. We just go on delegation. Boom. And you know they can't deny them visa because this is COP anyway. Audrey, what should also shock you, and that's why I was making the case for Anko and Ashwebi. That's the only part that's missing all of this. What should also shock you is the amount of money that we are now expending to the UAE economy. If the flight tickets alone cost close to $1 billion, how about hotel accommodation and extra coach fees? So I subscribe to Bat, what he said. I think the government should print out how much was spent on the ESTA code of everybody and individual that went on this trip. And that's public accountability. And people should be able to trigger FOI for that. If possible, let's even start by writing FOI to demand how much government spent on that trip so we know for ourselves. Because even in New York, somebody cited, I heard that was how we had a lot of Nigerians too in New York. It's a sad reality of how wasteful people are. Vis-a-vis the economic situation. I'm happy Peter Obi talked about China. China, that is even one of the biggest emitters. You can see we're at par with their delegation. But the Human Development Index of China is a whole lot better. China has brought a lot more people out of poverty. China has grown since they joined WTO in 2001. You can see where the Chinese economy is today. You can see the Chinese budget. But we're at an all-time low. But what do we spend the money on? Frivolous. We just spend on frivolities. Just like we did only last week when we wanted to spend 15 billion to build a new house for the VP. A country like Canada that does well economically. 24 Success Street, I keep telling that story. They've not renovated in a while the official home of the Prime Minister because no Prime Minister there does it. Because they fear the people. It's also obvious that these are leaders don't even fear the people. Daniel Boala was, I think he put out something on Twitter recently where he was giving the breakdown of how much government officials collect in ESTA code. I will want government to come out and react to that breakdown. If it's true that some as much as ministers got close to $900 in ESTA code per day and it's for 13 days, then they must give us the breakdown of how much they spent on this. We can't be saying Nigeria should tighten their belts, but they are going there to do jamboree. They are going there to do item 7.
Yeah.
They are going there to show off.